How Greenland became part of Denmark. A detailed history. Greenland, the world's largest island, is an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark. Its connection to Denmark has been shaped by centuries of exploration, colonization, and political developments. This article explores Greenland's historical relationship with Denmark, from its early settlements to its modern-day status. 1. Early history and Norse settlements 985 15th century. The first inhabitants of Greenland were Paleo-Inuit groups who migrated from North America thousands of years ago. These indigenous people lived in small, nomadic communities and relied on hunting marine animals. In 985 AD, Norse explorers led by Erik the Red arrived on Greenland's southern coast. Erik, an outlaw from Iceland, established settlements at Brattahlid, modern-day Kasiarsik, and other sites along the fjords. The Norse settlers developed farming and traded with Europe, but by the 15th century, their communities mysteriously vanished, likely due to climate changes, resource depletion, and conflicts with the Inuit. For the next few centuries, Greenland remained inhabited solely by the Inuit, with little to no European contact. 2. Danish-Norwegian colonization 1721–1814. Missionary expeditions and Danish interest. By the early 18th century, Denmark-Norway sought to re-establish contact with Greenland. In 1721, Danish-Norwegian missionary Hans Egede arrived with the goal of converting the Inuit to Christianity and reviving Norse traditions. Instead, he found only indigenous Inuit communities. Egede's efforts led to permanent Danish-Norwegian settlements, and by the 1730s, Denmark established a trade monopoly over Greenland, controlling its economy and interactions with the outside world. The Treaty of Kiel 1814 and full Danish sovereignty. In 1814, Denmark-Norway was forced to sign the Treaty of Kiel after losing the Napoleonic Wars. As a result, Norway was ceded to Sweden. Denmark retained its overseas territories, including Greenland, Iceland, and the Faroe Islands. This marked the beginning of Greenland as an exclusive Danish colony. 3. Greenland as a Danish colony 1814–1953. Economic control and Inuit marginalization. Throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries, Denmark maintained strict control over Greenland's economy and society. The Danish government limited trade to Danish companies, restricted outside influence, including foreign whalers and missionaries, treated Greenland as a closed, regulated colony. The Inuit people had little political representation, and their way of life was heavily influenced by Danish policies. Impact of World War II 1940–1945. During World War II, Denmark was occupied by Nazi Germany, cutting off communication with Greenland. In response, the United States established military bases in Greenland with the approval of the Danish government in exile. Greenland began relying more on the U.S. for supplies and trade, reducing Danish influence. After the war, Denmark sought to reassert control over Greenland, leading to its formal integration into the Danish state. 4. Greenland becomes part of Denmark 1953. Constitutional changes and political reforms. In 1953, Denmark adopted a new constitution that abolished Greenland's colonial status, integrated Greenland as a county (amt) of Denmark, granted Greenlanders full Danish citizenship, allowed Greenland to elect representatives to the Danish parliament. While this was seen as a modernization effort, many Greenlanders later criticized the move, arguing that they were not given a choice through a referendum. Economic and social development. To improve living standards, Denmark introduced large-scale modernization projects, increased infrastructure, healthcare, and education programs, policies to encourage Inuit people to adopt Danish language and culture. However, these policies often disregarded traditional Inuit lifestyles and led to cultural tensions. 5. Steps toward Greenlandic autonomy 1979–present. Home Rule 1979. Growing demands for self-governance led to a 1979 referendum, where Greenlanders voted for Home Rule. This granted control over internal affairs such as education, health, and fisheries. A Greenlandic parliament Inatsisartut. Recognition of Greenlandic Kalaallisut as the official language. Denmark retained control over defense, foreign policy, and financial aid. Self-Rule Act 2009. In 2008, Greenland held another referendum on increased autonomy. About 75% voted in favor, leading to the Self-Rule Act of 2009, which transferred control over policing, courts, and natural resources to Greenland. Recognized Greenlanders as a distinct people with the right to independence. Allowed Greenland to take full independence in the future if its people voted for it. 6. Modern Greenland. Independence or continued ties with Denmark. Today, Greenland remains an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark but continues to debate full independence. The main challenges include economic dependence. Denmark provides an annual subsidy of about 3.9 billion Danish kroner, $600 million, which accounts for nearly half of Greenland's budget. Natural resources. Greenland has rich mineral deposits and oil reserves, but large-scale extraction is expensive and politically sensitive. Geopolitical interests. The US, China, and the EU have growing interests in Greenland due to its strategic Arctic location. Current political landscape. Some Greenlandic political parties advocate for full independence, while others prefer maintaining ties with Denmark for economic stability. In 2021, Greenland's Prime Minister, Mute Borup Egede, reaffirmed long-term goals for independence but acknowledged the economic hurdles. Conclusion. Greenland's journey from a Norse settlement to a Danish colony and now an autonomous territory reflects a complex history of colonization, political shifts, and evolving self-governance. While it remains part of Denmark today, its future, whether as an independent nation or within the kingdom, depends on economic development, political will, and the aspirations of its people. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd love for you to join our growing community. If you enjoy our content, please hit the subscribe button to stay connected with us. It's a small gesture that makes a big difference and ensures you never miss our latest videos. Also, don't forget to click the bell icon for instant updates whenever we upload something new. Your support inspires us to keep creating content that you'll love. Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to having you on this journey. Keep watching and stay tuned.